Yo, what's up, guys? It's Brad, and today I just want to talk about some political shit. Like, with Democrats, you don't ever want to try to convince them of anything. Like, seriously, just stop trying to convince Democrats. It's literally the day before the election. I would honestly, like, you can maybe make like a comment to them or something like, hey, did you happen to see Hunter Biden's laptop? Did you happen to see that Joe Biden is directly implicated in massively selling out the country and he wants to raise your taxes significantly? You're going to make way less money. He's potentially going to, usher in Kamala Harris as his actual successor and president, and she's going to bring in actual communism. She's going to turn this country into Venezuela. Did you know all that? And if they don't, take to any of that, then I would just like leave it alone. Because at this point, again, like I've said a million times, the only thing that's, I think, really going to wake the world up to these people is for them to actually see video footage of these people involved in one of their satanic ritual abuse ceremonies, period. There's nothing else. I mean, they're going to they've normalized the corruption in the Democratic Party and the Rhino Republican Party so much that they quite literally, people just expect politicians to be getting rich off their tax dollars, to be fucking them over, to be engaged in very bizarre, questionable acts. For me, as a Republican, or frankly, I'm like a libertarian, I just feel like, dude, do whatever you want to do. Let's all just innovate together and make the world a better place. And what you do is your business, provided that it doesn't infringe on my rights and my freedom, and you're not hurting anybody. If you're hurting someone, I do believe in law and order. I do believe you should pay the price for that, and you should get a fair trial, but you should be held accountable. And I think the big thing with the Republicans is that it doesn't matter who you are. If it came out that Trump was like involved with some really shady shit, I would want him to be held to justice too. As of now, I'm a fan of Trump. I think he's done good things. I think he's way better than any other president that I've known of. I mean, certainly better than the last few that we've had. And his leadership in this time has been amazing. Think about how he's performed in coronavirus. I mean, the guy's like calm through the whole thing. He's made all the right moves. It seems like he's really done well. The thing I'm pissed about, with him right now is like, why is he not just laying the hammer down, on these people? Why is it that he's allowing, Antifa to riot and BLM to riot, and these governors to just get away with all this shit? Like, just lay the hammer down, like go in and arrest them and hang them high, dude. I mean, imagine, dude, literally, like, the thing with people is like, we're so brainwashed and normalized to think that the politicians are some type of ruling class and they get to do whatever the fuck they want to do. But like, God forbid you smoke a joint outside, you're getting locked up, buddy. It's the third time he got caught. You're going downtown to you're going to Rikers Island. If you get caught, you get arrested on a Friday in Manhattan, you get put till Tuesday in the Tombs or fucking Rikers Island, bro. I would love to see one of these fucking cunt politicians spend a weekend in Rikers Island. I would love to see that. How often does that ever happen? They would get just literally, I mean, when you go to prison, you get fucked up. Like, you get into fights, you get your shit stolen, you have to be on guard the whole time. Jail's no fucking joke, and people go to jail for like nothing compared to what these politicians do. This is the thing that I'm most pissed about. I think about how many people have been put in jail by these liberal ass fucking faggy judges, and me for nothing, for missing a child support payment. But meanwhile, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, they could run for fucking president. I know they embezzled millions and millions of dollars, and then they're fucking dumbass Democrats that'll vote for him, even though like they've probably had family members locked up. They're just, again, it's been normalized, so they're very, very dumbed down. The point I'm making is just like, just leave it alone. Like, the only thing that's going to really do it for them is like, you sit them down, fucking Clockwork Orange style, and you show them, Joe Biden raping a baby to death and then eating it, and then like shitting on his son's face and beating him and raping his son. And you think that that sounds gross, but that's what Satanists do. And many people in government worship Satan. Okay? There's a book by Ted Gunderson, who's an FBI agent, called The Finders. You can mock me all you want, but you're the dumbass if you don't read that. He's an FBI agent that put out a book called The Finders. So, you can call me an idiot, but you can't call Ted Gunderson an idiot, because I bet you're not a fucking high-level FBI agent that served his country for 25 years like Ted Gunderson did. So go fuck yourself. Seriously, go read it. That's what they do. They do shit like that. And just because people can't imagine it, because people are really dumb on the whole, like most people are really fucking stupid on the whole. They're so unbelievably poorly informed on things. This has been another thing I've really, really been rubbed in my face for the past few months. Doctors and lawyers and these CEOs and these accountants, these people that get funded and ushered into this system, they're actually fucking generally very, very ignorant. Very ignorant. Like, even doctors, I'm like, hey, did you know that, Dr. Fauci wrote a paper on the 1918 Spanish flu, and one of the main causes of bacterial pneumonia was wearing a mask, a previously used mask, breathing into it. Humans have the second most dirty mouth, bacterial infested mouth in the world of any animal. The first one would be the monitor lizard, and the monitor lizard, people thought that it was a venomous bite. No, it's because the bacteria in the mouth there was so much that when you get bit, the bacteria will kill you. You'll die of sepsis or something like that. So, you tell doctors this and they're like, no, that's not true. I'm like, here's a fucking link. It's a medical journal. What are you going to tell me, that a medical journal is fake news? It's a fucking medical journal. It's got a .gov at the end. Even if it didn't, doesn't that kind of fucking make sense? But again, people are very, very dumbed down. So you got to just like, a lot of the times I just write a blog. I just write a blog. I make a video. Anyone who wants to listen will listen. People, when it's the right time for them to learn this stuff, they'll watch the video and they'll learn about it and they'll hear what I'm talking about. But, before then, they're not ever going to learn. So fuck them. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like, fuck them. It's a shame because, when a doctor doesn't know, for instance, that many different people died from being intubated in the whole COVID thing, and then they go in and then they intubate people prematurely and they die, that person died. Their family lost that person. So it's like, if you just actually read something other than, the medical, whatever medicine stuff that you're reading, or the lawyers, you tell them something, or the accountants, they're like, oh, well, what do you know? You haven't been an accountant. It's like, fair, but this is something that I've come across that I think would be valuable for you. It's like, you think about how many integrative medicine doctors there are in the country. Not many. Most doctors are just traditional Western doctors, and they prescribe things that are poison, like OxyContin for years, or Prozac, or whatever, whatever they get a kickback for. A lot of these doctors just get kickbacks for things, and that's their primary motivation, or not to get sued. And you kind of understand it, but it's like, man, I don't know. The system is rigged. It's just rigged, honestly. Think of all the corruption we've learned about. I saw a video last night of several different Democrats. One other thing before that, when I was voting in Harlem, there was a Democrat campaigning on the line. They were trying to convince people to vote a certain way on the voting line, which is illegal. And I said something. I'm like, hey, can I ask what you're doing? And she's like, well, I'm trying to get people to vote. And I'm like, let me guess. you're trying to get people to vote Democrat. It's just like, well, yeah. I'm like, you know, it's illegal to be campaigning on the voting line. And I said it real loud so everyone could hear. And there were a couple people that were like, yeah. And she's just like, well, you have to be 100 feet away from the voting polls. I'm like, you're not. You're not. And, you know, why not have some fucking ethics? You know, I know that it's hard for you Democrats, but why not have some fucking ethics? They just cheat all over the place, you know. That's the Democratic Party, the great deceivers. The other thing that came out was, this is way more bombshell than this, 3 different senators or whatever, 3 different federal employees, 4 different, 5 different, it was on a Zoom call, just came out, where they're openly talking about a coup d'etat to remove Trump from office. And they're talking about using bureaucracy to slow down processes and gum up the system and fuck things up. I mean, it's on a Zoom call that you can go and look at right now on YouTube. But of course, nobody does. And they just take CNN's word. Like, you know, fucking Fredo, will come on CNN and say, oh, that's Russian disinformation. And everyone's like, Chris Cuomo's so awesome. Then meanwhile, Chris Cuomo, who, you know, the mask guy, he's like, oh, wear a mask. Just wear a mask like my dad says. Him and his brother, they're out, they're not wearing masks. They tell everyone to wear a mask, and they'll fine you if you don't wear a mask. But they get away with everything. They don't wear a mask. Pelosi, not wearing masks. You'll get arrested if you're not wearing a mask. And you can't go to the fucking salon, and you can't go to the beach, but they go to the beach, and they don't wear a mask. Last I checked, these pieces of shit worked for us. Okay? Last I fucking checked, the tax money that I paid over the years, it went for something. It went for an advocacy in government that was best for me and my family and people I care about. Not so that they can just use it as their fucking piggy bank. Why are these people so rich? I mean, because they're corrupt. They take the money for themselves. They do deals. They lobbyists. Think about that. Lobbying is a thing. They have people go into government and say, you know, big business, hey, you know, oh, well, just come out for a steak dinner. Come out to Epstein Island. Come out, you know, whatever. And they wine and dine them. They hook them up with girls. And then they have to vote a certain way. They're going to vote that way. That's not in the interest of people. That's so that they can make money. That's corrupt. That's bullshit. It can't work like that anymore. And the people need to wake up to that. That's fucking bullshit. So they take 60, 70, 80% of your taxes because you pay tax on everything. On everything. You get taxed on everything. In the end, they probably are taking 90% of your fucking money. And then on top of it, they're getting kickbacks? Dude, no. Like, there's just no fucking way that you should stand for it. The last thing I'm going to say that really drives me crazy about this whole thing is nobody has any balls. Nobody, when they see these, I'm just like, how are these people still alive? If somebody fucks your girlfriend, you'll fucking kill him. If somebody fucking steals $1,000 from you, you'll kill him. He steals your car. But these people are stealing all your money. And they're fucking you over. And they're living like kings. And they're fucking you over? And you're not even mad? And you're going to go vote for them? I mean, just like, what are you talking about? Trump has taken a salary of $1 a year. The only president to ever do that. He's lost money in his businesses because of this, obviously. Think about the smear campaign they've run on him. Of course he's going to lose business on this. It's a massive negative marketing campaign. It's insane. I mean, if he's for real, he sacrificed a lot for this. It's like the complete opposite of what you see. And yet they'll just be like, well, Trump is bad. And it's not even that they're retarded. It's that they're very, very corrupt. And they'll lie to get their way. They'll just say, well, Trump is a liar. You're like, give me an example. We've been through this a million times. It's not even worth giving it credence. They know that they're just lying. Like, seriously, like they're a party of liars. They just lie. I mean, it's just a complete inversion of reality. Everything they'll call Trump racist. And meanwhile, Trump's creating, he's creating the platinum plan where he's infusing I mean, it's almost like I'm pissed about it, kind of like $500 billion to black businesses. I'm like, what about my fucking business? I could use a couple $1,000,000, guy, and I would probably know how to use it a whole hell of a lot better than a lot of other small businesses because I've done a lot more with less. Jesus Christ. But he's doing that for the black community. He's doing a thing for the Latino community. I mean, I'm happy about that too. I'm like, wow, great. I'm happy other people are getting money. Yes. Like, I would like some fucking cash, but like, good. But then to call him racist, what? But of course, this is what we're dealing with, right? Everything that they do, then they'll go to your rally where you're a black guy or you're a Latino guy or you're a Jew, and you're like, I don't even rock Trump shit. I just vote Trump. Like, I'll put a bumper sticker on my car maybe next week when I get the fuck out of this fucking liberal hellhole. And there will still be people that be like, you fucking kike, you fucking piece of shit. I have people all the time, my Instagram, my Facebook, they're like, you fucking race traitor, like, you're a minority too, bitch. Why the fuck are you voting Trump? I'm like, go fuck your mother, you fag. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, oh yeah, go vote for a pedophile that sold the country out. Ooh, you're so righteous and smart. It's just ridiculous that you take these people seriously. They're just liars. It's absurd. I've said some things that are fucking, I've said some bad things. I've said some locker room talk in my life. I've done some things I'm not proud of. But you know what? I'm not acting like I'm this fucking moral high ground person and I'm just like, oh my God, you said that, you're a fucking terrible person. That's the left. So, I don't know. I'm just so pissed. And, in reality, here's my election predictions. Trump's going to win in a landslide. I heard him today in Pennsylvania. He said that, they had to account for 5% for cheating. They actually factor in the fact that the Democrats are cheating and get away with it, just like they get away with everything. It pisses me off so much. Dude, I've not gotten away with it. I've not really gotten away with much. Okay, compared to the massive, like, human trafficking, Satanism, really? Of course, doing business with the communists. What? They just get away with it. They have to account for 5% of cheating. So obviously, the Democrats have they've Chinese spies. That are hacking people's accounts. They have massive voter fraud where they're changing ballots on camera. They're paying people for ballots. They're mailing out 80 million extra ballots that don't line up with the population. I mean, but Trump's just like, yeah, like, you got to account for 5% of voter fraud or cheating. So I still think that we're going to win in a landslide and they're going to fucking autistically screech. And the Democrat, this is the thing about Trump, the governors and the fucking assholes, they're just going to impose more draconian lockdowns and they're going to let Antifa, these fucking faggots, riot. And then eventually they're going to come to the suburbs and, like, they're just going to get lit up. Like, literally, it's going to be a bloodbath. If they go to, for instance, upstate New York, and honestly, fuck them. I mean, seriously, it sounds cool and cute and shit. Say like, oh, just light them up. I don't want that. Like, I'd much rather that they actually just stop, but they're not gonna, because they're corrupt and they're stupid. So, that's my prediction is they're going to tear up the major liberal cities. Oh my God. They're going to put it all over the news, like, peaceful protests. Trump's a horrible man. And he's lying about the results of the election. And Trump's going to do what he's going to do, which I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know. I'm really pissed at him that he has not done anything. Like, the fact that he's the goddamn president. Just fucking take these governors out. Take these treasonous fucks out. Take Barr out. Take Ray out. Take the CIA director. Take all these people out. There's got to be some patriots in government. What the fuck? It's crazy. Take these people out. If you don't like it in America, get the fuck out. And you certainly should not be able to burn down, harass, and kill people. It's just insane. It's just complete bullshit and it's complete insane. I don't know why he's not doing anything about it, but That's my prediction. The one thing that I know for sure is that if these people go to the suburbs, it's going to be a rude awakening for them, because people in like upstate New York, in the middle of the country, they don't play that shit. If they hear you doing that shit, a lot of those people have governments that have weapons that the ATF doesn't fucking know about. You know, they lost in a boating accident. Full auto, night vision. They're trained veterans. You don't want to do it. Like, just trust me, you just don't want to do it. But they're gonna try some shit like blowing something up. They're gonna try some shit like they might have full auto weapons, but those weapons will be taken away from them if they go to the suburbs. Not in the cities. The cities, they'll probably kill a lot of people out of their temper tantrum, which they do anyway. Ridiculous. Anyway, that's it, guys. Peace. Hope you guys stay safe and you're doing preps. Check out my blog, bradholiday.com. If you want to support me, I got a product and coaching, and that's it. Later, guys.